For years, the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II dominated the global fighter jet market, a symbol of air power and military prestige. Nations lined up to buy in, believing the F-35 was the only real choice for a modern air force. The idea of a smaller competitor challenging this giant seemed impossible until now. On December 3, 2025, the narrative is shifting, and the challenger is Sweden's Saab Gripen. Headlines are no longer about the F-35's next big sale, but its first major stumble. The Gripen, once overlooked, is mounting a stunning comeback, winning over strategic planners and public opinion alike. This is a classic David versus Goliath story, playing out in the high-stakes world of defense contracts. The Gripen is leveraging affordability, reliability, and political independence to exploit the F-35's weaknesses. The epicenter of this showdown, Canada. Canada, once a committed F-35 buyer, is now hesitating, sending shockwaves through NATO and the defense industry. Other nations are taking notice, and the Gripen is being considered as a frontline fighter for major Western allies. What changed? Soaring costs, broken promises, and shifting political winds. The F-35 throw be very 35 and stirring. I'll be and sorry. Your story enduring very purring and burning is facing its most significant test yet. To understand the Gripen's challenge, we need to appreciate the F-35's former status. For over a decade, the F-35 was marketed as the future, stealthy, networked, and essential for maintaining a technological edge. Its advanced sensors and data sharing made it a flying command center, drawing in NATO members and US allies. Buying the F-35 meant joining the world's most advanced military network and securing lucrative industrial partnerships. Countries like the UK, Italy, and Canada saw jobs and economic benefits as part of the deal. These factors, stealth, networking, and industrial incentives, made the F-35 the default choice for serious air forces. Its competitors, like the Gripen, were dismissed as belonging to a previous generation. The F-35 was seen as untouchable, the pinnacle of aviation technology. Its path to dominance seemed unstoppable, but few predicted the storm that was brewing. The stage was set for a dramatic shift. The first cracks in the F-35's image appeared in its budget. The program became the most expensive weapons system in history, with lifetime costs ballooning to over $1.7 trillion. The cost per flying hour soared, making it unaffordable for many nations to operate as planned. Reliability issues surfaced. F-35s were often no more ready to fly than the aging jets they were meant to replace. The crucial Block 4 upgrade fell years behind schedule and billions over budget. Nations realized they'd bought a jet that was expensive to fly and slow to deliver promised capabilities. But the biggest problem was political US control. The F-35's software, parts, and maintenance are tightly controlled by the US, making allies dependent on American approval. With the return of President Trump and his America First rhetoric, this dependence felt more like a liability than a partnership. For Canada, this became a direct threat. Rising tensions with Washington and threats to Canadian sovereignty made the F-35's reliance on US goodwill a risk. Retired Canadian generals warned that political instability in the US could ground Canada's entire fighter fleet. The F-35's invincibility was suddenly in question. The jet's vulnerabilities, financial, technical, and political, were now impossible to ignore. Allies began to reconsider their options. The stage was set for a challenger. Canada's F-35 story is a case study in how quickly a sure thing can unravel. The plan to buy 88 F-35s ballooned from $19 billion to nearly $28 billion, sparking public outrage. Economic uncertainty made the massive expense hard to justify. Then, President Trump threatened to pull F-35 manufacturing jobs back to the U.S., gutting the deal's economic benefits for Canada. The partnership now looked one-sided, favoring the US, but the final straw was sovereignty. Political friction with Washington made Canada's military uneasy about relying on US approval to operate its jets. For a country that values independence, this was unacceptable. Prime Minister Carney froze the F-35 deal beyond an initial 16 jets, reopening the competition. The move signaled to the world that Canada was rethinking its defense future. Suddenly the door was open for the Gripen. With Canada's F-35 deal in limbo, Sweden's Saab seized the moment. The Swedish king, queen, and top officials visited Ottawa, pitching the Gripen as more than a jet, a strategic partnership. Saab promised to assemble Gripens in Canada, partnering with Bombardier to create 6,000 high-tech jobs over 40 years. The new facility could also build jets for Ukraine, making Canada a key player in the global defense supply chain. The Gripen offered what the F-35 could not: full sovereignty. Canada would control its aircraft, software, and maintenance, no foreign kill switch. Upgrades and integration could be done in Canada by Canadians. Saab's offer appealed to Canada's desire for independence and economic growth. For a nation worried about sovereignty, the Swedish deal was hard to resist. Side by side, the F-35A and Gripen E reveal stark differences. The F-35 is a stealth fighter, designed for deep penetration. The Gripen E is a smart fighter, focused on electronic warfare and flexibility. The Gripen boasts a higher top speed, longer range, and can operate from short dispersed runways, ideal for Canada's vast territory. Operational costs are where the Gripen shines. It's far cheaper to fly and maintain, allowing more training and higher readiness. The F-35's high costs and reliance on large air bases are major drawbacks. Interoperability. The Gripen is fully NATO-compatible, with data links and comms proven in alliance operations. The myth that only the F-35 can work with allies is fading. The Gripen offers a different, more affordable path to collective defense. For countries with limited budgets, the Gripen's value is hard to beat. It's not just about stealth. It's about what works in the real world. The Gripen is proving itself as a modern, capable alternative. The F-35's dominance is no longer assured. The choice is no longer obvious. The Gripen's resurgence signals a fundamental shift in the fighter jet market. For the first time in a decade, the F-35 faces a credible rival, forcing nations to rethink what they need from a fighter. Canada's decision will send a powerful message worldwide. Ukraine's order for up to 150 Gripens, Thailand's expansion, and Colombia's interest show the jet's growing appeal. Saab is carving out a market for nations seeking capability without US strings attached. The F-35 will remain a force, but it must now compete on merit and value. The era of the F-35 as the only option is over. The future of air power will be more diverse. Mixed fleets, tailored roles, and real competition. If Canada chooses the Gripen, others may follow, cementing Saab as a true competitor. The Swedish David has landed a blow. The American Goliath must adapt. The skies are about to get a lot more interesting. The fighter jet world will never be the same.